Hello, my loves. I am Aisha, and welcome back to my channel. I am a tarot reader and occultist, and today we are going to be looking at your future spouse's biggest secret. Before we get into it, disclaimer that this is a collective reading. The messages found here cannot and will not be for everyone. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and please don't force anything if it doesn't fit. I will now give you some time to choose your group or your groups. Hello, my group one, and welcome to your reading about your future spouse's biggest secret. What are they hiding from you? What are they keeping from you? What are they keeping from the world? It doesn't have to be some big catastrophic disaster of a thing, but everybody has some secrets. So today we will be using the Forest of Enchantment Tarot, and we're using 2 tarot decks today because I wasn't feeling called to any of my oracle decks. And the second tarot deck will be the Rider-Waite Tarot. So let's see. What is my group one's future spouse's biggest secret? The 2 of Swords. What is my group one's future spouse's biggest secret? The 4 of Swords. So we have the 2 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. A secret about the self. What is my group 4's? What is my group 2's future spouse's biggest secret? The 5 of Swords. How interesting. Definitely a secret about the self and the intellect. This feels like a secret about how your future spouse views themselves, views their intellect. Your future spouse may think of themselves as somebody who is very unintelligent, unintellectual. Your future spouse may think of themselves as someone who is very unintelligent, unintellectual. They may think of themselves as kind of mentally, I hate to say the word deformed because I don't even think that's right in this context. But it just may be how your future spouse views themselves, as kind of mentally deformed, as mentally misaligned, as mentally deficient, as mentally challenged in a way. I kind of think like for some it may be an imposter syndrome, but for a lot of you, your future spouse may have moments where they wonder if they have some kind of mental illness or mental disorder that they need to get treated for, or if they have some kind of brain injury or something mentally So I feel like there may be something mentally wrong with them, like they're mentally deficient in some way, because they may struggle to understand simple concepts, or they may um, easily misunderstand people, or they may need things to be lined up for them in a very specific kind of way. And so they wonder if this is a sign of some kind of mental deterioration, mental health. They may have a bit of they may be a bit of a hypochondriac, but not really hypochondriac. They may have a bit of a fear, like, oh, is this early onset dementia? They may they may actually, yes, they may be a bit of a hypochondriac. They may have undiagnosed OCD, because with OCD we see a lot of those repetitive thoughts, and we see a lot of those intrusive thoughts as well. And these things may concern your future spouse, but I think they're the kind of person who doesn't see a therapist, doesn't care a lot for psychiatry, and not in like a fearmonger conspiracy theorist way. This your future spouse seems like a manual labor of sorts, like somebody who, like, for lack of a better word, is a manly man. And if this is a woman, it's somebody who is very, like, masculine in a way, somebody who's very butch, somebody, this person is somebody who is, think of every masculine trait, that stoicness, that reservedness, that strength, that quietness, that idea that you have to kind of solve all your problems by yourself, that that idea of, you know, the man is the head of the household, the man doesn't need help from anyone. And so he doesn't even have to be he, whoever this your future spouse is, they have this mindset that they don't need anybody in their head. They don't need anybody telling them what to think. It may be a bit of a distrust for psychiatry, but it's so weird, because I know, how do I explain this? Because for some of you, I'm getting conspiracy theorists, distrust of psychiatry, and not wanting to see a psychiatrist because, oh, psychiatrist is just, it's just all hogwash, they're crock doctors, you can't trust a psychiatrist, blah blah blah. Whatever I'm going through by myself. You know, people have been dealing with this for years, for centuries. It's normal. I'll come out on the other side. But for others of you, it's like it's never even occurred to your future spouse that this is something that they can get help with. So say that they think that they are mentally ill, maybe they have these really bad intrusive thoughts, they're like that they're keeping secret, or they have this belief that they have a mental deficiency or mental illness, or that they're neurodivergent, but your future spouse doesn't seem like the type of person who would use the word neurodivergent. Like I'm saying, very old school, I think is the best way to say, very old school, very traditional, conservative in a way. The kind of person who just, how do I say this? The kind of person who would say, why go to a therapist when running is free, or chopping down a tree is free, or racing cars is more accessible? That kind of person. A very hands-on kind of person who would much rather deal with the issues by themselves than go to an external source like a therapist, or even to a friend, and get help in that way. Let's pull one more of the First of Enchantment Tarot. My group one's future spouse's biggest secret. The Queen of Swords, again, so many swords. And it definitely, when we look at the swords, we look at the mind, we look at that mental realm. Oh my god, I thought my mic stopped recording, my audio recording app crashed, because it does that sometimes, because my laptop is really old and really garbage. I say with love, I love you. Don't crash on me right now. But it's fine. I got so scared. But where were we? So when we look at the swords are the suit of swords, which in this deck is the challenges. We look at the mind. We look at our thoughts. We look at our beliefs. We're looking at the mind. And the secret that your future spouse is keeping from you, and I don't even want to say, oh, they're keeping this from you, because to them, this isn't intentional. It's not like they're being manipulative and going out of their way to keep the secret from you. It's just a secret. It even feels wrong to call it a secret because it's just something they don't share. They don't see a point in sharing it. They don't see a need to share it. They're that kind of person who keeps everything to themselves, or keeps most things to themselves. They're the kind of person who, like I said earlier, like, why talk to someone, why drive to see a therapist when you can just go into your yard and chop down a tree? There's somebody who keeps their feelings close to their chest. I don't want to say they bottle their emotions, but with things like this, where, especially if we're talking about intrusive thoughts, and actual intrusive thoughts, not the should I cut my hair intrusive thoughts, but like actual potential, actual intrusive thoughts that are typically very vile and very horrible to think. When your person thinks this, they may just wonder if this is something wrong with them, if they have these deep, 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 dark desires to hurt themselves and hurt others. And so they may not know that that's something you can talk to a therapist about, because they've never heard about intrusive thoughts before. They don't know anything about like mental health at all, or mental illness at all. So that's why I don't even think this person is keeping the secret, like, I think I'm mentally ill. They just feel like there's something wrong with them, when there's nothing wrong with them in that sense. They're not an evil, violent, horrible person with horrible desires. They just have these intrusive thoughts. And typically intrusive thoughts are intrusive for a reason, because they're things you don't want to do. They're things you would never ever do. But your person, your future spouse, is like, there must be something wrong with me. There must be something deep, like there must be something dark and evil and twisted about me for me to be thinking these things, when it's not the case at all. When this is something that your future spouse can 100% get help for and help with, but they don't even realize that this is something they can get help for and help with. They think it's just them. They don't realize that this is something that happens to thousands of people. They don't know that this is an actual disorder, an actual illness that they can get help for and help with. They just don't know. And that's why, like I said, for some of you, it's not a secret. It's just something that happens. They don't share it with anyone. They don't share anything with anyone like that. They're not a big conversationalist. They don't talk a lot. They keep their emotions close to their chest, very much an actions over words kind of person. And in this case in particular, it's like, it's just one of those things that they keep close to their chest. And maybe eventually they'll open up to you and they'll break down and cry, and they'll tell you, like, what is wrong with me for thinking these things? What is absolutely wrong with me for thinking these things? And you might be the one to say, there is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. This is something you can get help for. This is something that we can work through. This is something that can be not fixed or healed, but this is something that can be managed. Let's pull from the Rider-Waite Tarot. My group ones, future spouse. What secret is my group one's future spouse keeping? What is my group? Oh, okay, no, that's like a lot of cards, so that's me being bad at shuffling. What secret is my group one? What is my group one's future spouse's biggest secret? The Eight of Swords reversed. More swords, more swords. And they may keep this a very big secret because in the past they did tell someone. They may have tried to broach the topic with someone, like a parent, and this parent just shut them down. And they may have come from like a religious background, because I'm picturing somebody like in a confessional booth. And so they may have tried to tell their parents something, and their parents just like, no, how could you even think that? How could you say that? And they made them go confess. Or your future spouse may have tried to confess to a priest, and they were just told to just pray it away, just pray, just pray, just pray, and the praying isn't working, but they keep on holding on to that belief and that hope that if they just pray enough, then these thoughts will go away. For my group one, what's my group one's future spouse's biggest secret? Please pray it. The Five of Cups. Yes, in the past it has maybe damaged the relationship with a particular person because they tried to share it in the past, damage the relationship with an ex, damage the relationship with God, damage the relationship with their parents, damage the relationship with something or someone, and that's why they just don't share it anymore. They just don't want to share it. Four of Swords reversed, and we had the Four of Swords upright in the other from the other deck. My group one's future spouse's biggest secret, please spirit. And the Eight of Cups. I feel like the Forest of Enchantment deck, our top line of cards, is giving us really your person's thoughts and the thoughts that they've dealt with for a very long time and how afraid they are to share it with people. And then this is bringing us more into the reality of life, where they have maybe in a moment of what they would consider weakness, a moment of weakness for them, which I wouldn't say is a moment of weakness. I think it takes a lot of strength to be vulnerable with your emotions, but your future spouse saw this as a moment of weakness. And so in this moment of weakness, they shared their thoughts with someone, this fear with someone, these intrusive thoughts with someone, and they were just shut down, or they would give an advice that just does not work. They were told just pray, just pray, just pray, just pray, or just go for a run every time you have these thoughts, or just do this, just do that, and that's not helping, because this is something that your person needs actual professional psychiatric help with, and they're just not getting it. And so now, because they've been told this in the past, they've been given this advice in the past, and it isn't working for them, they've convinced themselves that if nothing is working for them, then it must be something wrong with them. This must be who they really are. They must be an actually horrible, evil, vile person when they are not. And so that's why they keep this secret, because they are so scared of pushing people away, especially of pushing you away, because of how much they love you and because they're building this life with you. And they're scared that if they tell you, I have these thoughts, I don't know where they come from, I don't know why I think these things, that you are going to be disgusted at them, that you are going to be scared of them, that you are going to push them away. And like I said, when people have intrusive thoughts, they're intrusive for a reason. It's because they're things they would never do. It's because they're things that go against who they are as people. But your future spouse doesn't know this, because they don't even know what intrusive thoughts are. They think these are just their thoughts. And so they think that this must be who I am. I must be evil. I must be vile. I must be disgusting. I must be a horrible person. If I ever shared these things, I think with my group one, the way I've shared with my parents or my pastor in the past, with my priest in the past, my future spouse, my group one, is just going to look at me with horror, with shock. And your future spouse is like, what would I do if that were to happen? And that's why they keep the secret, because they don't want to lose you. But the thing is that this is something that can be helped. This is something that can be fixed. Not fixed, I hate to use the word fixed, but this is something that can be managed. They just don't know that, and they need to know that. But it's like, how would you ever broach the topic without, in a way that doesn't cross some kind of line, that doesn't cross some kind of boundary. But I do think, because we do have the Eight of Cups, we have the Four of Swords reversed, and we have the Eight of Cups, and I just feel like there does come a point in your relationship where your future spouse finally just gives in, puts down this baggage, or just relaxes a bit and confides in you, and just feels like they've taken this weight off their shoulders as they confide in you and tell you the truth about these thoughts that they have, these fears that they have, these anxieties that they have, these things that they think about themselves because of what they think about others, not what they think about others, but because of these intrusive thoughts that they have about others and about themselves as well. And from that point forward, you really experience this change in your relationship. But I really, really do see that the secret that your future spouse is keeping, their biggest secret, is these intrusive thoughts, these fears, but mostly these intrusive thoughts and the fears that being open about these thoughts that they have could chase you away and chase away the people who are closest to them. Because like I said, your future spouse seems very like conservative, very traditional, very, they seem like somebody who keeps their thoughts close to their chest, very rugged. I'm thinking like a lumberjack. I'm thinking like Dominic Toretto from the Fast and the Furious. I'm thinking like Letty from Fast and the Furious. Those kind of characters who, especially in the beginning, may have been very like, they're very tough, very rough and tumble. Can you picture Dominic Toretto sitting in a therapist office? No, you can't, because even with Letty, I feel like they're the kind of people who, if they're dealing with someone, they're on the racetrack. They're going to race. They're getting into fights. They're doing something physical to get over these emotions. And I feel like your future spouse is the same way. And so it's hard for them to be vulnerable and be honest and open and to talk about these things that they're experiencing, because that's just not the type of person that they are. But alright, my group 1, I will close your reading here. Thank you so much for trusting me to be a reader. If you would like to book a reading with me, become one of my 18 plus patrons, or just follow me on social media. The links to do so are all down below. Alright, bye. Hello, my group 2, and welcome to your reading about your future spouse's biggest secret. What are they keeping from you? What are they hiding? So this doesn't have to be like some kind of big secret, catastrophic disaster of a secret. It can be anything. Today we will be using the first of Enchantment Tarot. We'll be using 2 tarot decks actually, because I didn't feel called to any of my oracle decks today. The second of these tarot decks is the Rider-Waite Tarot. Good old Rider-Waite. So let's see. Let me just shift a bit. Let's see. My group 2's future spouse. What is the biggest secret? What is my group 2's future spouse's biggest secret? The 4 of Pentacles. That they have more money than they're letting on. What is my group 4's? I said that earlier as well for group 1. What is my group 2's future spouse's biggest secret? The 5 of Cups reversed. Okay. My group 2's future spouse's biggest secret, please, Spirit. The Knight of Pentacles. What is my group 2's future spouse's biggest secret? And the 5 of Wands. This is about money, and what I'm getting is that it has something to do with the past partner as well, an ex. So as I was shuffling, the message started forming in my mind, and then I also remembered this clip I saw scrolling YouTube shorts, but it was a clip of this comedian, and she does a lot of crowd work. She's very popular on YouTube shorts, on YouTube. She's probably popular in real life as well. There's a lot of people who go to see her shows, but I cannot for the life of me remember her name. But her YouTube shorts that get a lot of views are the ones where she's doing crowd work. So that's, talking to the crowd, engaging with the crowd. And in one short I saw, maybe at the beginning of this week or end of last week, she was talking to this group of men, this group of 4 men. And she was, she asked if they're all seeing each other, like, what's the deal? Like, what's the dynamics of the relationship? And the 2 were ex-husbands, but they were still friends because they owned property together. And so your future spouse may be hiding that they have a monetary investment, some kind of financial investment with an ex-partner of theirs. Maybe they have property together, or they own a business together, or they have a large sum of money in one investment fund, in one savings fund. Or maybe they're paying this ex of theirs a large amount of money every month, or even just a small amount of money, but they're paying them some kind of money every month. They're indebted to some way to this ex-partner of theirs, or they have some kind of financial obligation to this ex of theirs, maybe child support for some. For some of you, the secret may be that your future spouse is not paying child support when they're supposed to be, or they're not paying alimony when they're supposed to be. But for a lot of you, I think it seems as if this secret that your future spouse is keeping is that they are either in some kind of financial relationship with this ex of theirs, like I said, they own property together, they have a business together, or it may be that they're paying something off with this ex of theirs. Because I'm looking at this Four of Wands, let me just pick it up. Because I'm looking at this Four of Wands so much, I feel like they may be paying off a wedding still. The wedding that your future spouse and their ex had may have been extravagant, it may have been expensive, they may have flown people out, and so they're still paying that off. It's something they don't want to tell you because it's like they don't want to make it a bigger deal than it is. But it's like, why not just tell you? If it's not such a big deal, then why not just tell you? But I'm not here to cause problems. I'm just here to give the message. But that's what it feels like, that they're keeping from you, that they're still paying off something with their ex-partner or to their ex-partner, that they have this financial obligation with with this ex of theirs. They may have told you that the house that they lived in with their ex was already sold, when in fact it hasn't been sold. It's still on the market. They're struggling to find a buyer, or the ex has decided to keep the house and what's the word when people like not refurnish, but they like flip houses. Like your future spouse's ex may have decided to flip this house and like see if they can sell it for more. So they've stalled the plans on selling the house for now, and they're putting time and money into working on this house, and your future spouse hasn't told you this, and they may also be putting their own money into working on this house. But it's definitely something financial, something with this ex of theirs. This ex, they may also be like working on a business with this ex of theirs. Like before they divorced or before they separated, they may have had plans, they may have had something in the works, and even though they've separated now, they're still working on it together, like going towards it. And they're just not telling you this because obviously this is an ex, and this seems to have been a very serious ex of theirs, and they don't want you to worry, they don't want you to be concerned, they don't want you to think that it's bigger than it is. But again, if it really isn't that big of a deal, why not just tell you? It seems like they're being very careful and very cautious about sharing money matters with you and telling you the truth about how much money they have, or how much money they earn, or even how much money they owe. It's as if they know that this could be make it or break it for your relationship. And you know how they say that a lot of people, especially a lot of men, will keep the actual salary, the actual income a secret from their spouses. They'll only tell like a bit of the story. They'll only tell like maybe they'll only tell you about their salary, and they won't tell you about all the money they make from investments. Which is fine generally, but in a marriage there should be that openness. Everybody's finances should be on the table, just so you know where you are, where you're at. But yes, this future spouse of yours is definitely seems to be keeping secrets about their finances. Can you hear the crows? Let's take that as confirmation. Definitely about their finances, about paying something off, about an obligation to pay something off. They may have not paid alimony or child support for a long time, and so now they've been served, and now they're requested to, or they have to pay all of that back. I'm not sure how that works, but where they have to pay all of that back to this ex of theirs, and so they haven't told you that there's this extra expense that they have every month now, or that they have to pay, because this could be like a lot of money. It seems to be a lot of money that they owe and that they need to pay. It's just like, I keep saying earn and pay, like interchangeably, but that's what it feels like. It feels like they have extra money coming in and they have extra money going out. Let's see. Biggest secret. What's my group 2's future spouse's biggest secret, please, Spirit? Group 2's future spouse's biggest secret. The 7 of Wands reversed. No, 8 of Wands reversed. The 8 of Wands reversed. What's my group 2's future spouse's biggest secret, please, Spirit? Yes, like they're stuck. They're in limbo. Like they're in something with this ex of theirs that they just cannot get out of. And in part that they don't want to get out of, because for a lot of you, for a lot of them, they see the bigger picture and they see how much money they could make sticking it out and toughing it out. But they just don't want to tell you, because I keep saying, like, they don't want to make it a bigger deal than it is. But like, if it's not a big deal, why not just tell? Why keep the secret? My group 2's future spouse's biggest secret. The 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles. Again, money matters, finances. Being very financially abundant, but still feeling at a loss in a way. Still feeling like there's something lacking in your life. My group 2's future spouse's biggest secret, please, Spirit. The Ace of Cups reversed. Yes, it's like there's no love in this relationship. Not between you and your future spouse, but between your future spouse and this ex that they're still working with. There's no love there anymore. It's strictly professional, strictly business. My group 2's future spouse's biggest secret. And the Tower, oh my lord. But they just cannot get out of this. Something absolutely catastrophic happened. But it's also like, how do I say this? Because it just feels so like so guarded, so shady, so guarded. And that's probably the kind of person that, I don't want to say, oh, your future spouse is a shady, guarded, manipulative person, but with their money, they seem like very shrewd, very, very shrewd, and very financially wise, very wise in the ways of money and making money and earning money and spending money and how to maximize profits. And so this ex of theirs may have come to them with a business deal or business plan, for example, like flipping that house, and may have laid it out all in a way like, hey, business owner to business owner, professional to professional, here's the money on the table. I want you to stay on this with me. I want you to keep working on this with me. And your future spouse may agree. They very likely agree to keep working on this with their ex. And the thing is, it's like I keep saying, they don't tell you because they don't want to make it a big deal. But then if it's not a big deal, why keep the secret in the first place? Do you know what I'm saying? Why keep the secret? The money that they make from this, they probably won't tell you about. The success that they get from this, they probably won't tell you about. And it just feels like one secret is going to snowball into this major secret. It's going to be secret after secret after secret after secret after secret, building upon each other. Because first it's going to be, they don't tell you that they're not selling the house with their ex. Then they don't tell you that they're deciding to flip that house with their ex. Then they don't tell you that actually they're making this into a business. Then they don't tell you that they sold this house for like $10 million or however. It's just secret after secret after secret after secret piling up about their finances. And it may have been the same thing that ended this relationship with their ex. But their ex is like, you're not a good partner. You're not a good romantic partner. I can't trust you as a romantic partner. But you're a good businessman and I can trust you as a business partner. And that's why their ex has decided to do business with them. But they're just not telling you that, hey, I'm doing business with my ex. I'm working with my ex. I'm building this company with my ex. I'm doing this with my ex when I'm not selling the house that I had with my ex. Or I owe my ex so much amount of child support or so much amount of alimony and I'm going to be paying that towards my ex. So I have an agreement with my ex to do this, that to cover that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's all about their money and just not wanting to share the truth about their finances with you, like at all. And you may be very open about your finances, and you may think that you and your ex, that you and your future spouse are on the same level financially. You both work salary jobs, you make similar incomes, and so you're fine, you're not worried. You do 50-50. You don't, you're not concerned because this is your spouse, this is your husband, this is your wife. Why would you be concerned? In your mind, everything is on the table. You're doing 50-50 because that's how you like it, or you're doing 40-60 because that's how you like it. Whatever the split is, you're doing it because you like it. But you don't know that maybe you're making 30K a month. You think your future spouse is making 40K a month, but actually that's just their salary job. They're also making a 10K from this investment, 20K from that investment, 50K from this investment. Now they got this other business deal with their ex. They're making another extra 5K, 10K from that, and they have all this money coming in, and you're just sitting there with your salary thinking all is good, blah 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 blah, and you're not concerned. And I mean, you don't, who has a reason to be concerned in that case? This is your marriage, this is your spouse, this is the person who you should be able to trust most in the world, right? That's what they tell us. But you need to not, you need to also be on that same level, kind of, to have your own investments, to have your own side hustles, to have money coming in that maybe you don't share with your future spouse. Like, sure, you want to only tell me about your salary, I'll only tell you about my salary. You want to only put your salary into our house, I'll only put my salary into the house. That's the kind of energy that's coming through. That if your future spouse is going to be keeping so many secrets about their finances, then keep your own. Why not? Alright, my group 2, I'm going to close your reading here. Thank you so much for trusting me to be your reader. If you would like to book a reading with me, become one of my 18 plus patrons, or just follow me on social media. The links are all down below. Alright, bye. Hello, my group 3, and welcome to your reading about your future spouse's biggest secret. So this doesn't have to be some big catastrophic disaster of a secret. It can be anything. So today we will be using 2 tarot decks. We will be using the Rider-Waite Tarot, and we will be using the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. There we go. So let's see, what is my group 3's future spouse's biggest secret? What is my group 3's future spouse's biggest secret? The King of Cups. What is my group 3's future spouse's? Oh, I'll pull out for you. Okay, 3 cards. We have the Ace of Pentacles, Temperance, which in this deck is called the Forge, and we have the 7 of Wands. What an interesting assortment of cards. King of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Temperance, 7 of Wands. Okay. I feel like this King of Cups is not your future spouse. This King of Cups is a father figure, a mentor. So the secret that they may be keeping is a secret about their parentage or their ancestry or the connections that they have. I'm thinking of... Okay, so one is a fan fiction. That I read initially many years ago when I was a young teenager. I'm 22 now. I read it maybe when I was about 15, 16, and I reread it last year. It's one of my favorites, and I read it from time to time. It's like a comfort fan fiction of mine. It's like a comfort fan fiction of mine. And in this fic, one of the characters comes from wealth, and he spent like his youth... The story isn't... I don't think the story is like this in the actual show. It's been many years, and it's not a show that I'm very interested in anymore. But in this fic, he comes from wealth, but he still works like a manual job. He's at odds with his family. He doesn't want to live off of his family's wealth. He wants to make a name for himself, but also in part he wants to spite his family. And he's like, you want me to be a certain way, well, screw you, I'm going to live my life this completely different way. I'm going to completely disappoint you and completely aggravate you on purpose, because I refuse to live how you live. I refuse to be so close-minded. I refuse to be so bourgeois. I refuse to be like you in every sense of the word. And he just wants to live his life freely and on his in his own way. And I'm also thinking, and I was thinking of something else before I started talking about that. But that's basically it. Oh yes, I was thinking of like Nicolas Cage, and Nicolas Cage is a Coppola. You know, he's related to like the Coppola family, like Francis Ford Coppola and Sofia Coppola and all of them. And he changed his name on purpose. I think I'm too close to the camera. He changed his name on purpose to Cage so that he wouldn't have that association, so that any work that he got, any roles that he got, any chances that he got would be gotten on his own merit, not because of his familial association. And that's the kind of energy that your future spouse has, the kind of secret that they're keeping. And for you, I feel like it may just be in the beginning of your relationship, not like something that they keep until like 50 years down the line until you both die. Like maybe after a few months, when they realize that this is the real deal, they will tell you the truth. But in the beginning, they don't want you to just like them because of who their father is, because of who their mother is. They don't want you to just like them because of the money that they have, or because of the company they have stock in, or because of the business they'll inherit. They want you to like them, for who they are. And they want to know that this is a serious relationship, that this is a committed relationship, that you like them for who they are before they tell you the truth. And this isn't going to be them testing you or hiding things from you. It's not like they're going to act very poor, very destitute, or they're going to act like they're unemployed, or they're going to act like anything that they're not. They're going to be their natural, genuine self, who they are. They're still going to spoil you in ways. They're going to be affectionate. They're going to be attentive. They're going to be the best partner that they can be. They're just not going to tell you this one thing because they want to know that you like them for them. Because in the past they may have had like kind of groupies attaching themselves to them. They may have been honest about, oh yeah, my dad's this guy, or my uncle's this guy, or I work this job, and suddenly it shifts, and the person goes from being interested in them to being interested in their money or their connections or the things that they bring to the table or the things that they can get from your future spouse. And so your future spouse resolves themselves to not share this information with anyone right off the get-go, because they want to know that something is genuine. They want something to be genuine, and that's what they're missing out in their life. They're missing from their life this genuine connection, and they're hoping that with you they can get this genuine connection, and they will get this genuine connection. And so after a while, like within the first year of the relationship, or of your relationship rather, they will tell you, like 7 months, around the 7 months before your first year anniversary, they will sit you down and tell you the truth. They'll say, actually, this is my father, or this is who I'm related to, or I'm inheriting this company. Just tell you the truth. And like I said, it's not like they're hiding a lot of things from you. It's not like you're gonna go out on a date and they're gonna act like, ooh, empty pockets, I have no money, you're gonna have to pay. No, they're going to still like be this partner that you desire, this partner that you want, this partner that you've been asking for. They're just not going to tell you this one thing. And I think it's justified that they have a justified reason for not telling you this one thing, because they want to know that it's real, because they want to know that you like them, that you love them, that you want to be with them. Not that you like their money, or you love their money, or you love their connections, or you want to be with them because of what, like I said, of what they bring to the table, that you want to be with them. And so they will keep this a secret. And it's not because they're testing you, not at all. it's not manipulative. It's mostly because they're guarding their own heart, because they're guarding themselves, because they want to be sure of this relationship before they tell you, hey, this is my truth, this is who I really am. It may be a thing where um like I'm getting old money. Oh my god, what song just came to my head? Sweet Venom by Enhypen just came to mind. It may be this thing where, and I'm thinking of like Steve Irwin. So for some of you, it may be a relative of Steve Irwin, one of his kids, somebody who's connected to him. But I'm also thinking like did I say all money? I said all money. I'm thinking of like maybe around your 7 months, your future spouse is like, hey, let's drive out to meet my family, and you drive up to this big house, like I'm thinking like American South, Texas, this like big house on like this huge plot of land, and you're like, where are we? It's like old money, old house, and they drive up and they like maybe they'll be dropping hints or they'll be trying to like work up the nerve to tell you, and like while you're driving there, they're like, like there's something I need to tell you, there's something we need to talk about, and you're like, let's just wait until we're not in this cooped up car before you actually tell me this secret of yours or whatever you want to talk about. And you can tell that they're very scared, so you'll say things like, whatever it is, we're in this together, you can tell me, I trust you, I love you, I'm not going to get angry at you, I'm not gonna, it's not going to destroy our relationship, you can tell me, and you can take your time and you can tell me when you're ready. And they just can't work up the nerve to tell you because they're also scared, because they're like, I have lied to my group 3, I have kept the secret from my group 3, is it too late to tell the truth? And they may not really have time to tell you the truth. They'll drive up to this house and you'll be like, what, are you serious? Like, or like, shell shocked, almost like, where are we? And they'll say, my family is actually my great grandfather invented some honey, some famous honey, or my this did this and my this did that, and I didn't tell you that I actually come from money, that I actually grew up like this because I didn't want you to see me differently, but I see a future with you, so this is my truth, this is who I am, this is how I grew up, this is where I come from, this is my life, this is how I live, and this is what I have planned for the future because of this family business or whatever. In the past they may have told you that they run a family business or they work for their father, and you don't think of it, you don't think twice about it, you're like, oh, okay, that's nice, you have a family business, that's so nice, what do you do? And they downplay it a lot, your future spouse will downplay it a lot. So maybe they have maybe they're part of this huge tool company. I don't know, like I'm trying to think of brands and stuff. I'm thinking like LG, Samsung, Kroger's. Is Kroger a brand? Is Kroger a brand? I think it's a coffee brand. So they'll say like maybe their family founded this major coffee brand, and you ask them, oh, what's the family business? And they'll say, we sell coffee. And you don't think twice about it because that's such a normal thing. They downplay it. So it's like they kind of tell you the truth, but they like skirt it enough to like obscure the facts of it so that they don't tell you everything. And when it does come out, it'll be like you might just feel very shell shocked, like, is this for real? Am I being punked? Is this a joke? Like, why did you feel like you couldn't tell me? But I do think that you'll come around and understand, because at the end of the day, they just wanted to know that you cared for them and not for their money, or you cared for them and not for the connections. My group 3's future spouse's biggest secret. 9 of Pentacles reversed. I think they also have this fear that, no, that's not 9, the 7 of Pentacles reversed. But I think they also have this fear that they can't compare to you, because you may come from like a middle class. You may have worked yourself up to where you are, like from the grit of your teeth, through like blood, sweat and tears to become successful. And because they've had everything handed to them on a silver platter, they may think that you will think less of them, that you may care about them less, that you may love them less, that you may think of them as very soft, as very undeserving of you. And I feel like that's a fear for them, that they're just utterly undeserving of you because you have worked so hard to be as successful as you are, and they have just had everything handed to them, oftentimes without having to ask twice. My group, these future spouses' biggest secret. The Seven of Pentacles. So we have the Seven of Cups, sorry. So we have the Seven of Pentacles reverse, and we have the Seven of Cups. My group, these future spouses' biggest secret. Justice reverse flew out for you. My group, threes, future spouses' biggest secret. My group, these future spouses' biggest secret. Yes. And the Nine of Pentacles. Yes, it's this fear that, okay, I keep saying fear, but it's like on one hand, they have everything material, they have everything that you could possibly want when it comes to money and finances. If they're wishing for a burger they're wishing for like if they're wishing for Thai food, they could literally just get on a plane and go to Thailand and get authentic Thai food and then come back the next day. Do you know what I'm saying? Or like the next week. They could just get up and go and do anything. They have that much money to their name. It's like more than just disposable income. It's wealth. They have wealth. And they have wealth that they likely didn't even have to work for, that they aren't working for. They're very spoiled. They're spoiled in a way. They're spoiled. They live luxuriously. It's the only life they've ever known. It's the only life they ever will know. And because of that, and despite having all of that, despite having all of this wealth, they still feel like there's something lacking in their life, and what's lacking is love, genuine love. The other people in their circle are all vapid and shallow and only care about finances and money, and they don't want that. The people who desire them are vapid and shallow and only see their money, see their network, see their connection. And so what they're lacking is genuine love, genuine affection, somebody who really cares for them and loves them. And that's why they keep the secret, because they are so desperately searching for someone who loves them and cares for them. But it's like this weird catch-22, because especially when it comes to you, right, my group 3, there's this fear that they cannot compare to you because you've worked so hard to be successful, and they have just had everything handed to them. But on the other hand, they wonder if they are even worth anything without their money. It's a weird catch-22 where they feel like this money is the thing that's keeping them from finding real, genuine love, but they also feel as if they don't bring anything to the table besides their money. And it's so heartbreaking when you see that. It's because it's as if like for so long they've lived this sheltered life that they haven't really had to face a lot of these deep, dark insecurities. And now in this relationship with you, a lot of these things that they've buried and hidden and not faced or even realized they felt are coming to the surface. And if they're always worrying, they're always wondering and worrying about what actually makes them deserving of love. Alright, my group 3, I will close your reading here. Thank you so much for trusting me to be your reader. If you would like to book a reading with me, become one of my 18 plus patrons, or just follow me on social media. The links to do so are all below. Alright, bye.